Hi, it's Mel here, the owner and founder of We're Accountants. Today I'm doing a short training session on how to get the most from your accounting software. So we'll go through the 3 key steps about how you can get the most from your software, and I'll talk you through a couple of core areas and how modern software can help you. I've got a couple of slides to show you and I've got a checklist as well. And then at the end, I'll let you know how you can get some additional help if you want it. So I'm just going to share my screen with you now. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to go now to the next slide. So the first step is to make sure that you're using the right accounting software for your business. Some people might be using Excel, for example, still, or not have accounting software at all. But the software industry has changed, and software as a service, that's how it's sold now, not as a product that you buy off the shelf. It's different. This means that you don't have to worry about installing, renewing, or maintaining software on premise. Instead, you can simply access whatever services you need and pay for only what you use. There's a lot more functionality, and if you're using an old legacy system, it might be a good time to look at the options. It links in with other software for your business as well. So if you haven't reviewed your accounting software recently, and we don't have time to get to the detail here, but please reach out to me so we can go through it, as it might be time for you to change. All right, now the next step is about your accounting workflows. So this means that you need to make sure you complete your tasks in the simplest steps. And when you're using the software, make sure you're following the right process. The core areas that I cover in my checklist, which I'll bring up for you shortly, are receivables, payables, bank, and payroll. So I'm going to talk about a couple of these areas now and how modern systems can help you do that. So I'm just going to bring up the checklist, and I'd like to talk about bank reconciliation, because that's a really big area and we need to make sure we focus on that. So I often hear that business owners don't trust their accounting system, and I found that they've come up with various ways of cross-checking their financial information. Sometimes that includes running a second system in parallel, doing things manually, copying invoices from one CRM to the accounting software, all sorts of things being done. Now, the problem with this is that it involves a lot of double handling, and it takes up an incredible amount of time. Now, it's true that people aren't always perfect at keying in numbers. Everyone makes mistakes. But the bank reconciliation is a way to do quality control on your books. This is what you need to do, and when you follow the right workflow, it's going to give you confidence and peace of mind. And it's going to save you loads of time as well. So you can see here on screen, I've got the 6 key points about controlling, processing, and reconciling your bank transactions. Now, when you complete a bank reconciliation, you're comparing your record of transactions against your bank's, and your entries should match up with their records. Bank reconciliation also helps you find and fix data entry mistakes or missed transactions. It's also good for detecting wrong payments or fraud. And as you run through the transactions, you can also assign them to the correct business account if you haven't already, and flag tax deductible expenses for when you file a GST return or tax return. The bank reconciliations aren't complex. Many people open their business ledger on one screen and a bank statement for the same period on the other screen, and then cross-reference. If you can't find a match for a transaction, You need to figure out why and make adjustments so that both records mirror each other. But if you've got smart accounting software or a modern system, then that accounting software really speeds up this bank reconciliation process by pulling transaction data directly from your bank through a secure online connection. And that removes keystroke errors for a start. The software then presents the transactions on a screen, asking you to verify them and assign each one to an account. The fields are often pre-filled based on past transactions or exact matches to sales invoices, purchase bills, or bank rules that have been set up for speed and consistency. You just have to click to confirm what's suggested. You can still manually enter things like expenses that aren't captured by the business bank account, and you can have the software retrieve transaction data from point of sale and invoicing systems or receipt scanners. Okay, the next area that I wanted to talk about a little was receivables. So you can see I've got a checklist here of some points that you need to have a look at. Now, with smart software, you can create templates and different branding themes. So if you wanted to send invoices, if you had, two different sides of the business that you're running under the one ABN, you can pick different logos and themes, and you can move between those two quite easily with smart software. Also, all of your standard invoice template wording as well. The invoice is sent to the customer from the software, and those invoices can be sent with immediate payment options like credit and debit cards. Also, smart software can check the bank account for signs of payment and keep a watch list of unpaid invoices for you and highlight that on your dashboard. The software can also send reminders when the due date gets close and also after it's passed and the debt's become due. So it's so much easier now compared to how we used to have to process the accounts, where everything was entered manually and checked off against the bank account by ticking and flicking on a paper bank statement. So you should be making sure that you're set up to take advantage of that. Now, this is something that we can help you with to review your system and workflows. I've had a case in the past as well where we've gone in to review the workflows and confirmed that the current accounts receivables and payables are correct, and the in-house bookkeeper resigned shortly after our visit. From there, we found that she'd been stealing money from the business and she could see the writing was on the wall and she was going to be uncovered. Okay, just let me change back now. My other screen doesn't want to work. Share. Okay, so the next area that I wanted to talk about was other features. So having a look at what else can your accounting software do to help you manage your finances and improve your business. So modern software can provide you with up-to-date reports that will help you manage your business better. The profit and loss report is a favourite of mine, and that can be customised to your needs. You can also drill down into the details with interactive reports and measure specific KPIs. You can add tracking categories to see how different business areas or units are performing. You can also set up a budget and run reports to compare actuals versus budgeted amounts in the profit and loss as well. Now, budgets is an important one. Some systems include a basic budgeting tool, such as Xero, for example, but there are a heap of add-ons around that go much deeper, where you can do full cash flow reporting based on different scenarios and what ifs. So if you are contemplating growing your business, expanding into another area, putting on more team members, then you can plot that out. You can have your base scenario as is, and then you can build on that and compare what the alternatives would look like in terms of extra costs and extra income as well. So some options also connect back to options as well, so that you can have, actual year to date and then a forecast through to the end of the financial year. So there's endless possibilities there. If you're still doing your forecast in a spreadsheet, well done for still doing a forecast, but it's definitely worth you having a look at these other add-ons that are available to you. Another great area to look at is payment apps, and these make it easy to accept payments from debit cards, credit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and so on. Other service providers that you are familiar with or would be familiar with are PayPal, Stripe, and Square. So if you have a modern accounting system, then you'll be able to connect up to these from your accounting software as well. There's loads of other apps that will link up as well, like inventory, e-commerce, payroll, and HR, and time tracking too. Okay, well, I think that's everything I wanted to cover for this session. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. I hope this will help you to work out how you can get the most out of your accounting software. Now, make sure if you do want a copy of the checklist, please type checklist below or follow the link below and give me a shout if you have any questions. That's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.